Would you try to use a screwdriver to hammer a nail? Or use a hammer to cut a piece of wood and then get mad because it doesn't work? Sound ridiculous, right? Most people I speak to about annuities have an automatic, preconceived ideas about them, sometimes good and sometimes bad. But they are a tool meant to solve certain problems, but not all problems. I'm Ron Bristol with Advanced Wealth Advice with another personal finance hot take. Today's take is a brief overview of annuities. I'll then follow this video up with 3 more, going into detail about the different types of annuities that will hopefully make you a much better consumer when you're being told that you need one, usually by an annuity seller. Negative reactions to annuities are that they're expensive. They lock up your money. Dave Ramsey hates them. They're a bad investment. Positive reactions are usually about the guarantees they give, mostly about income for the rest of your life. The big flaw on either side of this is that you've either heard of or experienced yourself the good or bad of a particular annuity used in one situation, and then applied that to all annuities in all situations. Either hating or loving a product too much blinds many people to seeing them for what they are, a tool that can solve certain but not all problems. So let's start with a basic definition. An annuity is simply a contract between you and the annuity company where you invest money now for some future promise or guarantee by the company. There are literally thousands of variations of what these guarantees can look like. The company will then invest the money you give them and are bound by law to fulfill their promises to you. So why invest in an annuity? I've been advising clients for over 20 years, and there are only really 2 purposes for using an annuity. The first is to grow your investment and protect you from losing money at the same time. There are many different versions of how annuities do this, but your motivation is to protect your investment and have some growth potential. The annuity company does this by investing your money and paying you a return that is defined in the contract. Annuities for accumulation purposes can be a great solution for very conservative investors or to give a diversified portfolio a stable investment that won't lose money. The second purpose is to generate guaranteed future income. As an advisor focused on income planning, I use annuities to make sure clients have income coming in for the rest of their lives, no matter how long they live. The general idea here is that you give the annuity company a part of your portfolio and they invest it. Similar to accumulation annuities, they pay a return defined in the contract, but the purpose for these annuities is to turn on income at some point in the future that will last throughout your life. So the company is investing for the long term, knowing that you will withdraw your investment gradually over a very long period of time. Now I need to pause here to clear something up. Some people hate annuities because of an old, now outdated idea, annuitization. This is where you give up ownership of your money when you start your guaranteed income or annuitize. So if you pass away much sooner than you'd planned, the company gets to keep what's left and your family gets nothing. That used to be true, but is generally not anymore. Most of the new income annuities have guaranteed withdrawals, but not annuitization. This gives your family back what you have not used when you pass, rather than the company keeping it. If someone is telling you you need to buy an annuity from them, but you're not sure why you need it, you don't have to guess. Click the link in the description to book a strategy call where we can look at your specific numbers and see if an annuity actually fits your plan. So what are the 3 types of annuities? I'm going to describe 3 main categories of annuities at a very high level to give you an overview. Most annuities you will hear about can fit into one of these. The first is fixed annuities. This is an interest-paying investment. You give the company an investment and they promise to pay you interest. They might guarantee the interest rate for a quarter, a year, multiple years. This can work well because you are one of many people that are investing money with the company. So the company can make long-term investments in a wide range of different types of loans that normally pay higher interest. They can then pass on higher interest rates to you, minus their cut, of course. These are the most conservative type of annuities. The second type is fixed indexed annuities. These are also interest-paying investments, but the interest you earn is calculated much differently. You usually have options to select one or more market-based indexes that will determine the interest you're paid. Examples would be the 10-year U.S. Treasury rate, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, or a multitude of other bond or equity indexes. But here's where it gets complicated. You are not actually investing in those indexes. The company is promising to pay you interest based on how much those indices grow. So if the S&P 500 goes down, you might get zero interest, but your value doesn't go down. But if the S&P 500 goes up 10%, you might earn just 7%, because that is how the company has defined the interest calculation in the contract. Remember, you are not actually investing in these indices. The company is. They are promising to pay you interest that is calculated based on how those indices grow. Accumulation investors use fixed indexed annuities if they want to protect their investments from declining. The trade-off is that they will give up some of their growth to the company. Families wanting future income may like these because companies can usually offer much more growth since you will likely hold the annuity for a very long time. The last type is variable annuities. These are closer to a pure investment. You select the funds you want to invest in, much like your 401k, and watch the value go up or down. There are usually no guarantees on the accumulation value, but many of the new VAs have optional income guarantees. The company promises some minimum level of future income, and you might get more than that if your investments perform well. At this point, you might be thinking, man, this gets complicated in a hurry, and you're right. Each annuity in the market has a different way of deciding how much interest or growth you will get, and how your future income will be determined. And there are literally thousands of them. But don't dismiss them because of that. Work with an advisor that can tell you specifically what problem an annuity will solve in your financial plan and why it is the best choice for you. Annuities don't solve every problem, and they aren't always the best choice, but they can be the right tool to solve a gap in your income plan. Look for videos immediately following this one that will go into more detail about each type of annuity I've discussed here. If you have a portfolio of over $500,000 and you want to have a clear income and tax plan for your retirement, let's talk. Click the link in the description to schedule a free strategy call with our team. We'll look at your current assets and show you how to build a floor of certainty without giving up control of your future. You can also visit our website at www.advancedwealthadvice.com to learn more about us. I'm glad you've decided to check out our hot take videos. I hope that you finish each one feeling a little smarter than when you started. Thanks for watching and have a great day.